To reports from multiple news outlets, his former sister-in-law alleges that Hegseth's wife was terrified he would abuse her to the point where she and her sister had a code to text each other if her husband became violent, and she feared for her safety. Tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long time, especially for Melania. This morning, Trump paid tribute to his longest-serving wife by reposting this AI image of himself with a...
If you love watching Hollywood's finest dismantle Donald Trump with effortless wit, then last night was pure gold. What unfolded was a roast for the ages, a comedic tour de force delivered by two of Tinseltown's sharpest minds, George Clooney and Jimmy Kimmel. Let's set the stage first. The occasion? Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 2 decades together is no small feat, especially for Melania, who has somehow lasted longer than most of Trump's failed ventures. To mark the milestone, Trump, ever the romantic, celebrated in the most Trumpian way possible by reposting an AI-generated image of himself standing heroically beside a lion. Because nothing screams eternal love like a digital fantasy featuring a jungle predator. But the real spectacle began when
Trump had an audience for what turned out to be a historic speech. No president in the history of this country has ever taken a weirder drink of water than this. Is that one of the side effects of hydroxy? I mean, what is up with his hand? Did he hurt it holding the Bible upside down? Let's look at that again, because there's clearly something going on. It's weak, and this is not the first time we've seen this. This clip's from November of 2017. You can see here, he managed to open the water bottle, but then he needed 2 hands to drink it. And then next month, this happened again. He's what is he doing? He's like a witch sipping out of a goblet full of toadstools or something. And he had another...
Clooney and Kimmel took the mic. Watching them roast Trump was like watching a master chef effortlessly slice through processed cheese. Clooney, ever the suave Oscar winner, radiated the ease of a man who's been at the top of his game for decades. Unlike Trump, who spent recent years collecting courtroom losses like trading cards. As for Kimmel, he's been perfecting his Trump takedowns for years. And last night, he served up another brutal round of comedic justice. If Trump is the clown, then Kimmel is the entire circus, ensuring that every audience member gets a front row seat. Kimmel came out swinging. If I were to make things up about Trump, I'd start with the fact that he wears diapers. He joked.
I'm gonna make stuff up about him. I'd start telling people he wears diapers. I would explain that it's a long trial. He drinks a lot of Diet Cokes to stay awake. He's getting up there in years, and it's perfectly normal for a man of Trump's age and carriage to wear absorbent undergarments to stop the leaks. So, I mean, if I was making stuff up, that I would point out that the reason he stands like this and golfs like this and plays tennis like this is because he has a full diaper strapped around his little mushroom garden, okay?
At his age, those bathroom breaks have to be frequent. It's completely understandable if he needs a little backup. He then took it a step further, suggesting that Trump's stiff golf stance and awkward tennis moves might be the result of a fully secured diaper limiting his mobility. It's like he's protecting a fragile little ecosystem down there, Kimmel quipped, sending the audience into hysterics. Then came Clooney, who once found himself on the receiving end of Trump's signature insults when the former president called him not very smart. That's like a pigeon calling an eagle bad at flying. Clooney didn't hold back, highlighting one of Trump's most laughable failures, running a casino into bankruptcy. Imagine being so bad at making money that people literally hand you cash, and you still can't keep the lights on, Clooney said, shaking his head. He then summed up Trump's entire business philosophy in one savage sentence. I can't, it's too many. But Clooney wasn't finished. With the cool confidence of a man who spent years mastering his craft, he delivered a devastating critique of Trump's entire career. Unqualified, he said simply. That's a polite way of putting it. Then, with the precision of a seasoned showman, he delivered the final blow, calling Trump a knucklehead. Honestly, that might have been too kind. A knucklehead at least has functional knuckles. Trump, on the other hand, is the kind of guy who could get tangled up in a revolving door. the type to lose a battle with Velcro shoes. The kind of man who probably still needs to read the instructions on a shampoo bottle. Clooney's roast wasn't just shade. It was a full-blown eclipse. "I knew him before he was president," Clooney said. "Back then, he was just some guy chasing women. Every time we went out, he'd wander over and ask, 'Hey, what's that girl's name?'" The audience roared. It was the perfect mic drop moment in a night full of them. If Trump thought Clooney was handing him a compliment, he might want to check his notes, assuming they haven't been swapped out for a set of oversized flashcards with pictures. Because this wasn't just another celebrity roast. This was a masterclass in comedic destruction. And Hollywood's finest just served up yet another cinematic takedown. For more legendary Hollywood clapbacks, be sure to subscribe. It's quick, free, and helps us keep the laughs coming. Now, let's break down how these A-listers continue to rip Trump apart, one punchline at a time. Jimmy Kimmel has never been one to hold back. But this latest roast? This was something else. An all-out comedic ambush, slicing through Trump's ego like an overcooked steak drowning in ketchup. Kimmel didn't just land a few easy shots, he went all in, firing off razor-sharp barbs with the precision of a seasoned hitman. One of his most savage burns? He compared Trump's intellect to a half-eaten bag of Cheetos left to bake in the sun. And honestly, the resemblance is uncanny. Both are artificially orange, both crumble under pressure, and both leave behind an embarrassing mess. But Kimmel wasn't finished. He couldn't resist roasting Trump's latest claim that artificial intelligence was being used to spread fake videos about him. An idea that had Eric and Don Jr. nodding along like they'd just solved a puzzle with 4 pieces. Kimmel seized the moment. AI? From Joe Biden? The guy still struggles with his TV remote. You expect us to believe he's running some underground deepfake operation? Please. Biden using AI is about as likely as Trump reading a book. Now, us using AI? That's a different story. We'll make you look like a sad Bavarian child eating pudding in a dimly lit corner, or a human-shaped chicken McNugget, or the deity of digestive issues. The crowd erupted, but Kimmel was just getting started. He doubled down, explaining that, much like a stale bag of Cheetos, Trump's ideas are outdated, artificially flavored, and somehow still addictive to the wrong audience. And just like no one truly wants that last, soggy, sun-warped Cheeto, America may finally be realizing that it's time to toss Trump out before things get even worse. Of course, Trump's most devoted fans rushed to his defense, likely while licking the last bits of orange dust off their fingertips. But Kimmel barely flinched. He knows Trump provides an endless supply of material, ensuring the roast never has to end. Then came Kimmel's next bombshell. Setting the record straight on Trump's bizarre claim that Kimmel had once greeted him outside his studio, he didn't just deny it. He demolished it. "Never happened," Kimmel said flatly. "Not once. Not ever. I don't stand outside for anyone. You guys in the studio know this? Do I go out there? No. Our guests don't even come in from the front. They enter through the alley, and even then, I'm not standing there shaking hands like a hotel doorman." And then, the final blow. "The only time I've ever stepped onto that sidewalk for Donald Trump," Kimmel smirked, "was to take a leak on his star on the Walk of Fame. That's it. Mic dropped." And honestly, watching this endless cycle play out is exhausting. Trump does something outrageous. The world reacts. His fans pretend it never happened. Then, a month later, he's in even deeper trouble. It's like a reality show that should have been canceled seasons ago, is to laugh at him. If you had fun watching this takedown, don't forget to like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.